Before Seeds, my life was pretty out of control and wild, and I just wasn't very content. It was like there was nothing really there to fill me.
It was weird. I was like all over the place emotionally, mentally. Physically, I was all over the place as well.
OCD, anxiety, depression, but also things like a lack of showing love and not really as much respect, I think, for my parents as I do now. And I think a lot of unknowing of how to deal with certain things and how to communicate. I think a lot of communication problems.
I think I struggled with being honest and telling how I really feel and just wanting to be more closed towards my parents. And I think who I was before was just someone who wasn't very open with others.
We decided to send Lyra to Seeds because we felt like we were out of tools. We felt like we had tried everything we knew to try and came to the conclusion that as much as we loved her, we were not the right people to help her through that next phase of finding herself and finding a good path for her future. Having learned about wilderness therapy, we were so grateful to find the only Christian wilderness therapy in Seeds, and that was what gave us hope.
I think it was a month into being at Seeds. I was debating on being a Christian or not, and then I started praying. I don't know how it started, but I just all of a sudden at night started praying about my day, asking for forgiveness. That was crazy, and now I still do it. I think that really changed me to be a stronger Christian.
The changes I've seen in my son are he does seem more mature, calmer, much more hopeful, willing to talk, willing to listen, willing to give grace. He's a lot more affectionate now. He would give me hugs sometimes, but it's been a long time since he just would volunteer a hug to his father. So to go up to his dad and just randomly give him a hug, that's huge. And his faith is his own. His faith is not just because his dad and I have taken him to church for his whole life, and on the umbrella of ours, he has claimed it for himself. And just even some of the pictures that were sent to us, just to see him smile or laughing in those pictures, it was wow.
Now I would say I'm a lot more confident in my identity and who I am as a person. And I've definitely realized my self-worth here at Seeds. And I just feel a lot more ready to take on anything and feel like my capacity to handle things is a lot larger.
I think some things I've learned while being up here is how to be myself more and to be real with other people.
I'm not the same man that I was before. I am a much better man, a much more different man, a much more spiritually mature man, and a much more godly man. And with all of the different facets of my life, that will flow into all of them as they will. I think a time when I really felt and saw a change in myself, I think it was one time, I think it was towards the middle, was when I said that I wasn't going to shortcut myself. And before, I was so used to shortcutting myself and just wanting to focus on everybody else. But after that statement, I said to the staff that I was talking to, did I just say that? Did I just say I'm not going to shortcut myself? And I think that's when I really noticed that there was a difference.
There are so many things that I could say about how Lyra has changed. It's enormous, it's incredible, and it's wonderful. And my heart is just full of joy seeing her be really herself, be who she is. But there's one picture that I shared with the whole team here that's just magnificent. When she was a little tiny kid, a year and a half old, 2 years old, she had this beautiful upright posture, and she would strut around and took life by its scruff. And in the last few years, she had lost that, and she was sort of inward and slumped. And when we came out here for the graduation, It is amazing. She has that posture again, and she's upright, and she's open, and she's powerful, and it's just the most beautiful thing for me to see.
I see him having more self-control than I've ever witnessed, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, since, I know as a child you don't have a lot of self-control, but I mean, just more self-awareness and a peace. He has a peace about him that I've never witnessed.
Just, I haven't met any of the staff besides Claire and Rob, and that's just over the last 2 days, and it's just mind-blowing. And we've been working in youth for many years, and I just haven't seen anything like you guys, so passionate and so intentional and so selfless, and just, you guys are so equipped, and that can only come from God. And it's just, I mean, I just don't even have words for it. It's just incredible. And I know that if you two are like that, I know the rest of the staff has got to be the same way. And you just have to, you obviously love God, love kids, and are passionate to help these struggling teens. And so I can't even begin to thank you guys for your ministry and what you do. And I know that when you guys get to heaven, the God will definitely be saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant."
Yeah, I ditto that ever since the first phone call, I've felt nothing but love, nothing but compassion, and a charge that there's hope. And the staff members here, like my wife said, they're just amazing. You're here because you're called by God to do a work, and you're doing it. And we're forever grateful.